Hi all. Right, turn 29 US action phase to come. A couple of things. Just uploading the uh, last video now, which is part 56, I think. And I noticed I had missed. We had brown A action on the fire card in the east, and this is in German communication, so there could have been an ambush from this hex. Fortunately, the symbol in the card's a circle, and this guy's a diamond, or he would have took another hit from that, from the ambush. Just missed that one. There was another empty brown position there, but it's 3 away. And just having a glance over the map. It's on the other side. That was a bit of a fright. I'm just looking up, all the way up here at that D11, which has this unit within 2, and it's a circle. However, this is the one hex down the spine that's on the west side rather than the east. And we had the R action over in the east with no reinforcements. So yeah, kind of lucky, got away with that one. Yeah, that's it. Another thing, actually I should have just showed you while I was down there actually. Another thing I realised that I know I had felt like I had wished I had made the other move and left this unit in here. However, this guy went and built depth in the second event, so it kind of like wouldn't have mattered anyway. So yeah, we scrapped this idea. I probably think at first I thought, well, let's try and get this guy round about and get to the exit, but I'm actually thinking that it might just be safer bringing him back to here to sort of secure this hex, because it does fire into this purple hex, so if something does reoccupy, well, sort of reinforce or redeploy to that hex, on saying that, it's not going to have any US units in its field of fire if I do move that unit away, which then means nothing could redeploy to there. Okay, well, I could think about it, I suppose. I mean, the chances of him getting round there to safety, I don't know if they're feasible or not. And plus the fact we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. All of these 3 units would require an action to make a move, and I'm pretty sure I definitely want one to move that unit, and then probably just leave them both in there for the exit on the last turn, hopefully. And even if that tank comes down, I think he's going to go that way, so I'm not so sure, mind you, depending on how far he goes, and that might still be in the field of fire, but anyway, we'll wait and see. Okay, so, well, I suppose we're going to put in our US action phase anyway, so let's get down to it. Okay, so what are we doing? Don't see any disrupted units. There's units everywhere, isn't there? I know it's getting down to the time where we need to make some of these moves. Just looking up here, did we decide this guy is he still capable? 29, 30, 31. No, he is not capable of exiting. Yeah, we decided to leave him in the end, didn't we? Because he is holding this X, which is covering the draw. So he can't exit. These 2 can. Right, well, you know what? First things first. We have the draw open now. It's completely open. And we've got a tank that can still move 2 hexes. So this tank is going to go 1, 2 up onto the high ground. And not only that, controlling that hex and easing that a little bit. This guy can move 1 now. Yeah, they're all still getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, only stretches 5 the grants. So, well, however, like Martin had pointed out, the good thing to do is have a command post ready for to take over the units. So this is actually within range of the command post as well. So it gets a free move either way. It would still get the traffic management move from this hex. This hex is out of range of the traffic management, but I can pick up the command post. So this is moving 1 hex. This is moving 2 hexes. This is moving 1, and this is moving 1. So we've got things moving. I had also had a little glance, I think, when I was watching back some footage there that, no, it was this hex here actually. There's traceable, communications traceable to it, so don't know if I missed that one or not. Again, we've got to maybe take some chances with these anyway, but whether that was intentional or not, I don't know. Okay, so that's our non-infantry moves. Done. Well, actually, while we're on it, why not finish off with... This has now got a range of 2, so it can clear this mined road. So this tank can move into there. Yeah, this is a problem I'd spotted. Maybe you guys did as well. Brown's still firing into this hex. So we're not going to be able to get that tank on the high ground till that brown position's removed. Well, in all honesty, we need that brown position removed to take the draw as well. So, yeah, so it's more than likely he's going to sit here just now. However, next turn, the range still stays at 2 anyway. So it's not until turn 31 that I would be able to clear this hex. I would have the range to clear it. However, all we're going to do in turn 29, we're going to be disrupting this guy again. Turn 30, I'm hoping that guy's going to be in there and we're going to then have a shot at this guy. We don't know about his depth. I'll probably take a chance and move this unit into here as well, so we've got the double flank. But it's more about what happens to this unit, because if it blue fires, that just destroys everything. We don't create the flank. We've got to wait until the next turn, so we're then running out of turns. Okay, but not much more we can do about that, so... Right, yeah, actions are going to come into this, I think. The amount of spare actions we're going to get. This is going to be an issue. So we also need to think about our draws and about taking the hexes. Well, this is a definite action we need to take. This up into here. And it's an infiltration action as well. Lots of brown on the last 3 cards there, but not a brown triangle. Yeah, that would be disaster. We need to keep it at 4 strength, because if it does take a hit from the blue, at least we've got one more shot at it. And then it's the game. Well, once it gets undisrupted, that's the thing. It's like, I think it would be the last turn. In fact, yeah. Do we have the time? I'm not sure we do. Well, here's a thought, Grant. Why don't you create the flank in here and here? Why didn't I think about that? At least these aren't in the field of fire, this blue. That was silly. Oh, Grant, disrupt this first. Almost, Martin. Right. So... right, hold on though. We could use either of these ranged infantry. But here's me just saying, why don't I move something in here? This is going to be my only option, so... is that bocage? It is, yeah. Yeah, the only unit that can move into here is this guy. That makes sense, eh? Right, so well, it doesn't really matter then. So I'm using this to attack this with 6 strength, and assisted by the ranged 7 strength. So we've got 13. We don't have the weapons. We've got 13 against 6, so we've got double. We disrupt this guy. Yeah. Almost made a blunder there, didn't I? I was right just about to draw a card for that infiltration move. That would have been silly, wouldn't it? Yeah, so I definitely feel, I mean, yeah, well, do I need to do this? Now that we've realised we can get a flank by putting these two in here, but then what if I end up with double flank? I think it makes sense. I only need one other action. Well, I kind of need two, don't I? I want to get that guy out of the intense orange. No, I feel like I need to do this. Because this taking this position is... Right, and then obviously now we don't have to do the infiltrate check, because the unit's disrupted. And then, yeah, I think... No, is there any fears of this being exposed? Well, there will be, won't there? I think we've really got to, like, just ignore that now, Grant. I could move the HQ... In actual fact, we could have a 2-hit... Oh, yeah, no, perfect, Grant. Well, I'm going to be leaving that WN position empty, but you know what? I'm just going to have to take the chance with that. If there's traceable to it. Right, let's work on that. Okay, so I'm going to use this as a first division move, and from the HQ, free move that into there. And then free move... I think I want to do it. Well, let's do it first and then have a look. And then... Yeah, these guys were to start making a move though, weren't they? We had hopes of this guy... Sorry, maybe just off camera. But this guy's starting to make his move to the exit. I'm just thinking, well, do we need all that firepower? I mean, we've got this unit disrupted, so as long as nothing silly like the event to undisrupt all German units appears on the first event card. Yeah, glad I just mentioned that. And as long as that doesn't appear. Now, I'm not going to count on this guy because I think there's more of a risk of him taking a hit. So I would have 13, 19, but I would have this range as well, so 14, 20. We would have 26, and we would be flanking. Would the unit be able to escape? If this guy takes a hit, he might. Yeah, if that guy takes a hit, he will be able to escape. If that guy doesn't take a hit, he will not be able to escape. So, fingers crossed there then, but that's in the lap. So it's just that I did think I could 2-hex move this into here and then also have another 7 power, and also I'm protecting that D3 hex, but we kind of wanted to move with this, and we need to move with this. So at the moment, it's traceable to D3. It's purple position, yeah, there is an out for it as well. However, I could maybe do something about that, because I think I am going to be moving. The plan was to move these 2 units into here. And I think if I've got an action, I'll be moving that down into there. That's saying I've got to realise that I was going to have 3 units in the stat in the hex. So, but if I'm down to there, but if these units are in here, then I don't think purple can trace a communication trace, because they'll be exerting a control into this hex. So I don't even need to worry about the purple one. The WM position, well, actually that could be the same. Right, what does, let's zoom out a little bit. What does this guy need to get away? This is turn 29, so 29, 30, 31. Right, I made a blunder there then, because I'm not making that. 29, 30, 31, 32. Okay, does that mean this guy's out as well? 29, 30, 31. Oh, he can't make it either. I must have miscalculated or just forgot all about them. Oh dear. Well, that's a bit of a bummer. I thought I had worked that out as well. Because it could be that I remember saying, right, I need to move the guys next turn, and maybe that was last turn and I didn't move them. Yeah, well, they certainly can't make it. So all we can get away is this guy and this guy, possibly. So to move this further up the road, this is going to require an action, but that's on the 29th side anyway, Grant. So I can leave this to move on the 29th, and I can make my decision about that. I'll just move them as 29th units. So I'm not keen on leaving this empty as well, but I could still 2-hex move that into that, like I'd said. I think the WN position's going to be traceable though for communication. Okay, I'll leave the rest of that and then now for the other side then, and move along. In the middle here, well, I'm not sure what I'm doing with these guys. We eventually sorted this red position out. So what is the plan? I don't know. We're not bothered about this blue position. Right, I did these 2 guys here, and they're in the commander's HQ. I did think about moving them down. Now, I know I talked about the possibility if this landed, I could get in to control these 2 hexes, but, well, we don't know its fate until the next landing phase. So, I don't know, maybe we should just not worry about that. So what could I do? I could just move them down at here, or I could actually 2-hex move them into here, into the draw, along the trail and then down the slope. And although this is a steady brown, we've got this guy disrupted. C2 is Still vulnerable as well, though, but there's starting to be a few of them showing up that way. What I could maybe do is 1, 1, 2, and then maybe move that HQ down. Well, before that, we need to move these guys, don't we? He's not on a road, because that's moving into Bocage. Yeah, that's not really helpful, is it? Well, that gets them on that road, so I suppose we move that up to there. Oh, I've just spotted something. This, I don't think I've got another great use for this now. It sounds wrong to say that, but... So, I know I talked about moving this unit down to try and get these draw hexes, but this guy's just as close. And I can actually make a 2 hex move, boom, down into the draw there. And the reason I'd like to do that is because then I would get a free traffic management move from the well, not only that, I'd be as commander of that HQ, and then I could just move 1, 2 down into here, and that then means we've got these 3 hexes. And I'm pretty sure there's enough stuff up the top to take care of the other hexes. So, yeah, because that's... It's the building hex. It's not Bocage. And that's a woods hex, but there was nothing talked about 2 hex move. The only 2 hex move situation was Fields of Fire or Bocage, not entered via a road. So... yeah, I quite like that idea, I think. So 1, 2, so I'm going to put that guy down into there. And now he can then get a free move to go 1, 2 next turn, and then he's just going to sit there. Or... yeah, I mean, the best he can grab is 3 hexes, I think. Yeah. Okay. So... what about this HQ? I thought that maybe this might be able to grab this unit because it's in the draw now to move it further down, but remember this only has a range of 2 at the moment, and then next turn it's only still going to have a range of 2. Is this, we do need to be careful with our actions. Yeah, because I know I talked about maybe moving that HQ up there to grab that in action, but there's far too much stuff around about this HQ. I can't do that. Although we do have that general now. And if these guys can't make the exit, well, they might not be able to make the exit, but there are still a couple of hexes there that are victory points, so that should be more their purpose then, maybe. Maybe the general can help with that, and maybe we can afford 2 actions on this side for these 2 units to try and get them away. Okay, again, we'll get to that, Grant. We'll get to that. So let's try and deal with the middle of this first. So we've got 2 actions left. We kind of want them for 1 for here and 1 for here. However, no, we're not going to be able to, are we? I think we're going to have to leave this guy in the hope. I get the feeling. Because if these guys are going to make the exit, this is 29, 30, 31 and off. He's got to move now. So the other one maybe doesn't need to then. 1, 2, 3, 4, not, we're out of range. Yeah, just don't have the actions. Well, that general's got to move. So we can hold back with that guy, so maybe the general can get up to help them. So if we just use an action on this guy, 1, 2, and leave the other guy there. Yeah. Right, I've had to make a cut here, so this is a new part of the video, right here, and I've been away for a couple of days again because I didn't know how to try and sort this situation. It was one of these times again, I've done it before, where I had thought I'd paused the camera and it was recording, and then I went to record, and of course I paused it, and I've not noticed, so there's a whole 3 minutes, all you can hear of me is coughing away and spluttering, and nothing being said, as obviously I've been recording what I thought was paused. So at first I thought, well, try and put the units back, but I'm sure I can just explain what happened. Now I noticed I think this was about the last move that I had made, was these guys up here. Well, I also pushed this other unit from wherever he was. I think he was in here. I pushed him up there, and I pushed this general up as well to give them a helping hand. Yeah, I guess if I just go over the things that's changed, I moved some of these units up here. I can't remember exact places for them, so I'd need to go back on the previous video, find them, and move them all back. Maybe I should. Should I do that? No, you know what? It was only these 2 units, I think, that we had left to move, wasn't it? And I think I've just kept them in position just to protect. I think I wanted to protect this hex, because I'm obviously moving things out. I moved something out of here. I think communication is traceable to here, and unfortunately to this WN position, but I've had to just accept that. And if a unit pops up there, well, we've still got some strength round about it. It will just be a WN unit on its own, and we'll get to see it as well. But I mean, I need to make the push for these exits, so I've also moved this unit up here. Yeah, he must have been in this hex, so again I've left this hex open, but I need to make a dash for the exits. I left that guy behind because yeah, I feel like it's probably best he still stays in that hex until we get a unit moved in there, although it does seem I've still got an action marker here. A couple of other things that happened. I used an action, yeah, I remember that, but I used an action to move that guy from the brown position down, because there was no point in him sitting in that hex, and sitting in that hex, well, actually we'll get around to that, could be controlling this hex. We're not so sure. These guys had only got one hex moved up the bluff here. The intention of them was to try and go up here and maybe pick up a couple of these spaces that were leaving behind, but time-wise, you know, there's not enough of what. Now, here's something that you wouldn't have seen. This guy had been disrupted, so we undisrupted him. We made an infiltration move past the purple into here, and it's obviously I've drawn this card and thought I had recorded it. It would have been a diamond. It was a purple diamond, and that's the card that we drew. We drew a purple triangle, so he got away with that. You'll just need to trust me on that one, but yeah, I mean, I think this is somewhat hopeless sort of cause as well, because that guy built depth. The other unit across here, the only other thing across here was this unit yet again was disrupted, so the disruption got removed from him. And again, I've not moved any of this. So I think that's it. Sorry that I wasn't able to sort of show you the actual movements, but there wasn't an awful lot. Like I say, this guy moved from here to here. This guy moved from here to here, and then they jumped up the bluff, and then well, that unit moved up, and like I say, I adjusted. I think one of these was on here, and one of them was on there maybe. So I moved them both. Not so sure about this one, but because he's not really doing any good, would he not have been better maybe just staying? Yeah, he kind of looks like he would be better off in one of these, didn't he? Which one is that? D118. I'm going to have a wee look. I might just adjust that. No, D118 was used to attack, so that's the reason he is where he is. And this guy I think moved from the WM position into there. I mean, I've got to cover one of them, and this looks a slightly riskier hex to leave open. I know there's more likelihood of a reinforcement appearing in the WM position, but like I say, we get to see what it is. It doesn't come with depth, and although it'd be another speed bump, we could probably take it out in a 1R just with these two units here. So, yeah, but we can't protect everything like I've said. So, hopefully nothing does appear in one of these units. I mean, it's 1, 2. They could 2-hex move into here next turn, and then 2 again. But they are going through sporadic blue, so if blue was to disrupt one of them, in fact, no, they're not both triangles if I remember rightly. Yes, they are. They're both triangles, so it's either one. It's either none or both of them are going to get disrupted. Okay. Right, okay, so, and then, yeah, I had a comment back from Martin, and this is why I was talking about this position here. This is a double WN position, 2-hex WN position, which, like I've highlighted in my comment back to Martin, I do feel, I've maybe went on about it a bit, but it always has been something that I feel this should be much clearer in the rules. And I want to say that Tarawa and Pelelu have these problems too with 2-hex positions. Something makes me feel like they did try and do a better job of it and make it more understandable, but I still don't. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I would need to get the rule books out and whatever and have a look at them, and probably wouldn't realise until I was playing the game, which I will. My intention is to get around to playing Tarawa and then Pelelu sometime. So we'll maybe see what happens there. But I did highlight the fact that I feel that the rules about 2-hex WM positions should be much more detailed and explained better. So anyway, Martin had come back, and I've talked quite a bit about the fact that this is a 2-hex position, and we're interested in knowing at the end of the game, because the scoring that's relevant is you subtract 1 victory point for each WN hex you do not control, and it does say hex there, and I think this is what gets me thinking more than the rest. Why does it not discuss the fact if it's a 2? Why does it not elaborate more on if it's a 2-hex position, then it doesn't matter if you control one of them, you're still going to lose 2 points. That was one of my replies to Martin. One of my comments to Martin was, why don't they have that in the rules? Because within the first half of the rules, you score 1 victory point for each WN position you control. But then it elaborates. It says a WN position occupying 2 hexes is worth 2 victory points, but is worth no points until you control both hexes. Now, obviously, you don't score for them in the end game, but that's all it says. Subtract 1 victory point for each WN hex you do not control. And that's not clear. I mean, Martin felt like it was clear to him that you needed to control both of them. Now, I know that's what we've been saying throughout the game, and you know what? I think he's probably right, and I think John Butterfield's intention has been this, but I wouldn't say it's that clear, not to me anyway. The way it's worded, I mean, I've been going along thinking, right, I've actually believed that in this position, although I don't control this hex because blue's firing into it, that I actually control this hex for the purpose of victory points at the end. So I would get -1 victory points for not controlling that hex. However, Martin's saying that he believes that I would need to remove that blue. I need to actually have both of them for it to matter. So he's saying that I would get -2 victory points for both of them, even though I feel like I'm controlling this hex, which I feel like I am, but then we've been through all this before. Our 2 hex position, if something's firing into the other hex, it affects the whole 2 hex position. So I actually do think he's right. I think he's going to go and ask a question from John Butterfield to maybe confirm this, and I'd like to see something done with the rules, or a errata brought out for the whole problems surrounding 2 hex positions. I think they're, like I said to Martin, this whole one about, let's just say, just grab an eliminated unit here. Let's just say we've got this situation here, and then just grab another eliminated unit, and I've got a US unit here, and I move this US unit from here to here, right? Here to here. Now it's in purple field of fire. Both of these, we have this hex with this US unit. So I'm going to make a move from here to here. I'm sure there's a lot of people who are not going to say, oh, I need to do an infiltration check there and draw a card, because purple, this hex isn't disrupted, and it's got the field of fire into there, and we are crossing by this hex, which is part of the 2 hex position. I don't think a lot of folk will pick that up from the rules. It's a tough one. I mean that if this was empty and you're doing the same, you could maybe think somebody might think, oh, I need to do an infiltration check for that. But even then, they might think, well, no, there's nothing in this. I'm just moving from here to here, But certainly when there's a US unit in it, you certainly wouldn't think that you needed to do that check. But however, you do, and I think, I think that's something that could be tight. I think it's a good rule book. I do. It's a heavy game in my eyes. It's still a tough game to get everything right. But I think that's an area that, and the thing is, it probably wouldn't be that difficult to put it down in better words to make people understand, I think. Like I say, I'd be curious once I get on to the other 2 games to see if they've changed any of the wording within it. I think they did do something. I do, and that's why I shouldn't really be maybe making some, dissing the other games, because I've not got around to playing them again yet. So maybe I shouldn't be. I should hold my thoughts until I do. However, so I think Martin might go and ask John that question, and it'd be nice to know from my point of view, anyway. And okay, it's relevant to some victory points here. However, it's not really relevant because we've got a catastrophic loss. But however, yeah, I would like to know because this is another position here. I mean, I've got the purple here, and I've got the brown there. Well, my thinking is I've got -1 point here, and I've got -1 point here. But the way Martin sees it, that's -2 and -2. So there's a big difference there. I think it's only the two positions. I think over this side, the red, we've clearly got the two red. Oh well, there you go. See, I've opened up purple here. So if something redeploys into here, which I think they can, I'm pretty sure German communication's traceable to here. If something redeploys to here, then there's another 2 points away then. Well, saying that, we have them garrison, so I'm not... It might be slightly different. Mind you, is it really? Yeah, just glancing at garrisons there, it possibly does mean they're slightly different. Yeah, there's nothing... I've not... I thought maybe I had read something though. There's nothing to say that if a garrison becomes in the field of fire of a German unit again, you would remove it or anything. Garrisons prevent the appearance of German units in unoccupied WN and reinforcement positions, and such positions are in US control at the end of play. Now, it doesn't say they're removed if for some reason that, like I say, if a unit does come up in that purple position, it fires into there. So do we still control this? No, possibly not. Possibly not. Anyway, okay. Right, well, hopefully that's got us back on track. I know that was a bit messy, but like I say, you certainly didn't want to watch 3 minutes of me coughing and nothing really getting moved about. You just maybe ended up seeing the result of what had moved. Okay. So, yeah, we still do have an action marker there, don't we? I don't really know. I mean, I feel like it's maybe wasteful, and I maybe should be using the action on this. You know, it's just that it is going to open that hex. And I think it'd be better waiting till that other unit gets in it. And remember, when that other unit gets in there, we can then move them as one action. I think that's probably safer, isn't it? Because we basically don't want to move these until turn 31. So 1, 2, 31, and then 32 off the map. So yeah, I think I'll just accept that I don't need that other action marker. And that should be it. Right, I'll just have a double check and then hopefully tidy things up and we can get on with the next turn. Okay, just settled with that. So there's the final picture. That's the phase marker back. Turn marker's moved on to turn 30. So 3 more turns to go. We're almost there. These last couple of turns are probably going to be a bit risky though, because I'm starting to leave sort of hexes open to redeploy, like I've said. So there's no reinforcement units, but redeploy and also potential for reoccupy, I suppose, the WM position. But maybe we'll not see any R's on any of the cards. Yeah, right. Okay, I'll wrap that up now, and yeah, maybe got some more time so I can hopefully come back and get things started. But I'll cut there anyway, and we can get this part uploaded at some point. Okay, cheers.